Good morning, friends and guys. This is your host BA back with another video, and I know a lot of you guys are wondering, no, this is not the ultimate video that I promised. This is a collection of all the previous ultimates I've done, specifically on the Alien Force aliens. If you don't watch the other ones, they are in the ultimate playlist or linked at the bottom of this video if I remember to do it. But this is specifically to buy time because I'm currently busy with a lot of things, and if I don't post YouTube, so this is going to forget I exist because YouTube is YouTube. So I'm posting this video in the meantime. This has every single alien from Benton Alien Force that didn't get an ultimate in it, so I hope you guys enjoy, to those who haven't seen these videos yet. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so the first one we're covering is Ultimate Lodestar. Generally, this was the easiest ultimate for me to design, kind of. I was really struggling to find a gimmick for him because surprisingly, every single gimmick you can do for an ultimate Lodestar has already been done by other YouTubers or other fans. Because, you know, there's not really much you can do with Lodestar. And a good amount of designs have also been taken, so I was just struggling. I was going to do another biblically accurate design, you know, like the biblically accurate angels I do for ultimates. But then I realized, surprising amount of biblically accurate angel-based ultimates, and I didn't really want to do another one. Especially for an alien that isn't really like a god. I typically only do designs for gods so you can understand the gimmick. So I was just sitting here like, what do I do? And then I just said, okay, screw it. I'm just gonna do what every normal person does and make his ultimate based on Pharaoh fluid. I did give him a design that I think is unique. I don't think anyone really did it. I was playing with the proportions a lot. I wanted, you know, him to be disproportionate, like big arms and small arms and all that. Again, really struggled and it was pretty annoying, but yes, he's made of Pharaoh food, meaning he lost his durable body, is now more liquidy like Goop. I also gave him like 3 heads because I thought it would be cool. You can, like, you know, use them to scout around the area. Basically just gives him a bigger area to look at. Similar to Pain from Naruto, if you guys are familiar with him. So yeah, you know, he has like 360-degree vision if he uses his powers properly. And I also made this design based on infinite, the number infinite, you know, the symbol. I just thought it would look really cool if his body was making an infinite pattern. Other than that, there's not really much to say about this ultimate. It was pretty basic. I do really like the finished design. Probably not my favorite ultimate from this video. I would even dare to say it's my least favorite because this is so basic. But again, there's not much you can do for an ultimate Lodestar. No offense to anyone whose favorite alien is Lodestar, but there really isn't much you can do with this guy. But anyways, I rambled on enough. On to the next one. And let me know what you guys think about this design. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know why, and see you later. Ultimate Lodestar! Okay, this is my favorite design of the video, and also this is one of my favorite Benton aliens. So for the abilities, I want to invoke a godlike vibe, especially because this is basically Diamond Head Jesus. Like, but I didn't know how I wanted to make him a god. I didn't just want to, you know, copy Alien X and just make him be able to do everything, especially because that's kind of just boring. Why choose any other alien when you just have an ultimate Chromastone? So I was thinking, I was like, what if he had the ability to just make an army of diamond heads? But not just like any diamond heads. I want them to be like multicolored. Like when he summons them, they made out of the materials around him, or like in the earth at that moment. Like he sprouts them from the ground, so we can get like ruby diamond heads, emerald diamond heads, obsidian diamond heads, stone diamond heads. I don't know why I'm saying diamond head. These would be like, what, emerald head, ruby head? Yeah, you get the point. So this guy can just make an infinite army of diamond heads. I also want to keep his ability to shoot energy, but he has a limited source of it. But if he runs out, he can, like, I don't know, drain energy from his subordinates that he makes, like ruby head and stuff. No, I just want him to feel like a god, but he cannot absorb energy anymore, so I guess you could just use a laser gun on him and beat him that way, which is kind of funny. But he is really durable, you know, because he gets Chromastone and a diamond head, like, god, so yeah, really durable. I love that everyone automatically just knew this was Chromastone when I posted the teaser. Like everyone knew that this was Chromastone. I don't know how. It was just the silhouette. The fact that you guys came to that deduction just amazes me. Generally, you guys are probably the GOATs. But either way, this was a really fun ultimate for me to design. Chromastone's one of my favorite aliens. I'm still sad he didn't get an ultimate. And if we're being logical, if he did get an ultimate form, it would probably just be the red Chromastone form from, forgot the name of the episode. But you know what I mean. Like when he got like the red crystal put in his head. Really good episode. But yeah, I had fun with this. I like the gimmick I gave this guy. I like the art. I replaced the stone with gold because, you know, he's a god and gold is like the most common color for gods. I had a lot of fun with this. I'm just rambling again. I did that a lot, but again, I really like the design. I think out of any of my other designs, this is probably the closest to an ultimate that any of my aliens would get to truthful. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you on the next one. Ultimate Chromastone. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this was the one I struggled the most on. This is also the first one I did for the video. I just couldn't think of a concept for Ultimate Jetray. I did like, now I'm getting 10 different drawings, trying to figure out what type of concept I wanted. For some odd reason, I kept going to Crab, because I wanted to make this ultimate way more armored than Jetray. But I couldn't figure out how to do that really, which really annoyed me, like absurdly annoyed me. You know, so I come to the concept of Crab, which really wasn't working. So eventually I took a break, I started doing some research, studying, looking up stuff. And then I said, you know, why don't I make him a dragon? Without any type of dragon, a Ryphon. I always say the name of this type of dragon wrong, but it's basically a type of dragon that has wings for hands. Really cool concept in my opinion. So, you know, I pushed the limits in my brain making this design. Generally, I don't know why it was so hard for me to make a Jetray ultimate alien. Like, he just flies and shoots lasers. But this was, no joke, one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. Which is absurd to think about. But anyways, if you guys don't know, I'm following the same rules as the Ultimate Overhaul series from the Intake. I don't know if it's actually called that. But anyways, yes, I'm following those rules. So they had to use powers and have a completely different color scheme. So for the powers he's losing his super speed. Sorry, but there's no need for this tanky version of Jetray to have it. Instead of super speed, he's going to have kinetic deflection. Basically, the more you attack this guy, the more kinetic energy he builds up. And he can eventually charge up so much kinetic energy that he makes giant explosions. That isn't the only ability he has though. He can also shoot green fire, because I thought it was cool, but he doesn't have his laser vis in it. So yeah, to recap with this alien, he doesn't have his laser vis anymore, or the ability to move at like hyper speed. I don't really know Jetray's full speed, but he is fast. So he uses almost all of his speed, you know, all of that good stuff. But he is really beefy now. He can take a lot of damage, and then he redisperses that damage through the green padding on his skin. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this ultimate, and on to the next one.
Ultimate Jetray.
Alright, this was the last design I did, but I decided to put it in the middle because I don't know how many people really care about Goop. I'm pretty sure more people care about Brainstorm if the pose anything to go by. So yes, I put Goop in the middle. Generally, I think this is the best design I've done for this video. I generally think it looks really good. If anyone would be an ultimate, it would probably be this one. But I did struggle trying to figure out a concept for Goop. Because like almost every ultimate Goop concept has been done already. We have people like making him into City Party, Battlefield, which was an idea I had because I really like the metal gimmick that ultimates usually have. I know I'm like alone in that, but I really do like it. So yeah, I struggled, I fought. And I was like, okay, maybe instead we get the Goop aspect, I should get the gravity projector. And then it came to me, why don't I base him off a black hole? So I looked at black hole designs, I was, you know, Googling, researching, and here are the abilities I came up with. Instead of, you know, having a very malleable body that everything goes through, I decided to make it where his goop is so dense it forces things to come towards him, and his acid evolved over the years. So things are just drawn into like a vacuum and disintegrated. Probably one of the strong ultimates I made for this video, but yeah, I figured that was a cool concept for an ultimate, and it makes sense. You know, ultimates are supposed to be overpowered, so why not have fun with this one? So yeah, he's a black hole. Probably not what an ultimate Goop would look like or have the abilities of, but I'm sorry. This guy's been done to the death, and like the really only thing you can do for an ultimate Goop is make him really durable and get rid of his slimy body, which I didn't want to do because everyone's already done it. So I needed to come up with an original idea. I think this really does work for an ultimate Goop. Let me know what you guys think about it, but yeah, it was fun. I'm just ranting now because I need audio for the drawing. But yeah, see you on the next design.
Ultimate Goop!
Alright, this was the one I wanted to do the most because if you guys didn't know, Brainstorm is like one of my favorite aliens. Top 5 for me. I'm a big fan of Brainstorm. So, you know, I was thinking about concepts. I don't really remember the concept they did on the ink take, but I know it was something to do with copper, so I wanted to stay far away from that. So I was thinking, and then I was like, what if I turn him into a tank? Is it the most conventional thing? No. Would it be cool? Yes. The small guy just becomes a tank. So yeah, he has a giant tube coming out of his head which lets him shoot concentrated energy beams. And he can now shoot off his hands like rockets, so his claws are missiles, and they regrow. Now that I'm thinking about this sounds awful like Ultimate Humongousaur. That was not the intent. I didn't even think about that while designing this character. Clearly I lost the plot, but yes. Now the prices for having these abilities is, you know, he uses his electricity control. I forgot what it's called. So yeah, he can't manipulate electricity, but he has rocket arms that make huge explosions and a giant cannon coming out of his head. So yeah, this guy's pretty destructive. He's also pretty slow. He has a feet to replace with, you know, those weird tire rim things that tanks have. I don't know what's about tanks, but I really like the design. This is one of my favorite concepts I've done for an ultimate. So yeah, I genuinely like it. There's not much I can say about it. He's super smart, and he's a tank now. What else can I say? It's just a cool concept.
Ultimate Brainstorm!
Alright, for ultimate energy, I of course struggle to figure out a concept which, you know, is very common with all my videos. Like, making concepts is just surprisingly harder than I would like to say. But anyways, I eventually settled on I wanted him to be faster, so I simmed down his armor and like kind of fused it to him. I made him a lot skinnier, so he can actually be, you know, faster, while also keeping the tickiness of his armor. So he has less defense, but he is faster than his normal armor state. I also decided to get rid of his arms so he can have hand cannons, so he can shoot concentrated beams of radiation. And yes, he still has radiation because again, not much you can do with energy. But now he has this way more concentrated energy blast, allowing him to do far more damage than, well, normal. I also decided to switch up his color scheme and give him more of like a bluish purple color scheme because I thought it would look cool, and it did. But because this is a very straightforward fusion, I'm just going to say that energy is my favorite Benton alien of all time. Not of all time, but he's like my top 10 list of Benton aliens. I think Feedback's actually my favorite alien of all time, which can't wait to make it ultimate for him, but yeah, I didn't really have much to do with this, so yeah. Really basic, and I don't got much to say for energy. He's probably the most basic one I did for this video. So yeah, let's get into the next one, I guess. See ya!
Ultimate Energy is spelled N-O-G.
Thank you for you guys who watched to the end. Yeah, I know this is a collection of all my old Ultimates, like I said before. I do plan on doing new Ultimates since it won the poll, but I just haven't had time to get to it, and I'm going to be busy pretty much all week. So I won't be able to stream like I typically do. So yeah, the weekend is when we'll start streaming again and start working on the new Ultimates. If you guys have any suggestions, leave in the comments. But yeah, hope you all have a blessed day and hope you catch you on the next one. Peace.